charges, and Rice County prosecutors later added a motor theft charge, which was quickly linked to Gary's death. Arlene, who had been living with Gary, later told investigators that she was at their home and heard something fall on the floor, and when she went to check on Gary in his room, she saw red bullets near his feet. She said that she did not see any guns but was scared and that he wouldn't let her leave the room. She claimed they got into a physical fight despite the elderly man having Parkinson's dementia and was physically unable to walk without help. Arlene admitted to stabbing her roommate multiple times and used a knife to saw at his wrists. She said that Gary then strangled her, threw the dehumidifier at her, and choked her with its cord. She said she cut the cord off the dehumidifier and noticed that Gary was bleeding profusely, and moments before his death he spat up blood. Afterward, Arlene tied the victim's feet together with a cord before wrapping his body because she was afraid he would regain consciousness and kill her. She then went through Gary's belongings. She told police she took a shower to clean off the blood, and she took Gary's vehicle to drive towards the Mexico border. On the 23rd of February, Rice County prosecutors filed a second-degree murder charge against Arlene for Gary's death. Arlene has been held at the Dallas County Iowa jail since her arrest and will be extradited back to Minnesota to face the murder and theft charges after the Iowa case is resolved. Arlene has an extensive criminal history and has previously been charged with making terroristic threats, threatening harassment. The investigation into the matter continues. On Friday, the 23rd of February 2024, 30-year-old Shane Kulagami was sentenced to 35 years in prison without parole after pleading guilty to murder in the 2017 beating death of her 8-month-old daughter, Cherish Freeman. On the 20th of December 2017, Shane Kula was living temporarily at the Bel Air Motel, later when they were free Plainfield Road in the Valley getting married with Cherish and two of her other children. Shane Kula became upset with Cherish when she would not stop crying, so he threw her to the dresser, picked her up, shook her, and slammed her onto the ground in the motel room. Cherish became unresponsive and Shankula called 911. The baby was rushed by ambulance to the Central St. Joseph Hospital in Joliet, and then airlifted to the Advocate Children's Hospital in Oaklawn for more specialised care. Medical staff determined that Cherish suffered 2 skull fractures, bleeding on the brain, and had a liver laceration. She died 4 days later from blunt force trauma on Christmas Eve in the hospital's intensive care unit. Shankula has been behind bars since her initial arrest on the 20th of December 2017. Of her 35-year sentence, she was credited with 2,377 days of time already served, which is roughly 6.5 years. Following Shankula's sentencing, Bill County State Attorney James Glasgow said, "For a mother to be bound baby to death is incomprehensible." Cherish was taken from his earth simply because Shankula wanted her to stop crying. His precious baby's girl's last experience was one of trauma and suffering, something that a prison sentence can never undo. Behind bars in connection to the kidnapping, torture, and murder of 20-year-old Mahogany Police Johnson. They were also found here on the night of Sunday the 25th of February. The Birmingham Police Department in Alabama announced the missing persons alert in Mahogany Jackson. He was unseen earlier that day wearing a blonde wig, black shirt and blue jeans. Mahogany sent a text to another at 7:46 a.m. early that morning, saying that she was being held hostage at apartment 3 and shared their location saying don't call but send police in a hurry. The location was pinned to Serenity Apartments in the Powderly neighborhood of Birmingham, Alabama. However, when police went to the building, they did not find Mahogany there. 26-year-old TJ Lewis, who lives at the address, said that Mahogany had been there, but left the residence at around 2 a.m. that morning. At 2:19 a.m. the following morning, a passerby called 911 after finding Mahogany's body under a mattress in an illegal dumping site on the side of the road at 17th Street Southwest and Laurel Avenue, a few miles away from the Serenity Apartments. Authorities determined that Mahogany died from a gunshot wound and her death was ruled a homicide. Investigators said that Mahogany's death was not a random act of violence, saying that she knew her killers and even referred to some of them as her friends. Authorities said that TJ and Mahogany had an ongoing dispute. Reportedly, there was something previously taken from TJ's apartment, and that people were looking for Mahogany. Fight videos were shared on social media following Mahogany's disappearance. Later that day, detectives carried out search warrants, including the second-floor apartment unit where Mahogany had been held. They also investigated several locations nearby. 7 suspects have been arrested in connection to Mahogany's death. Authorities said that within hours of finding Mahogany's body, TJ was taken into custody after being found hiding in the neighbour's apartment that she'd broken into. The rest of the suspects were taken into custody over the next 24 hours. 23-year-old Giovanni Clapp, 25-year-old Lee Graham, and 23-year-old Sonia McCall have each been charged with felony murder, kidnapping and sodomy, and 26-year-old TJ Lewis has been charged with felony murder. 24-year-old Brandon Pate, 25-year-old Francis Harris, and 18-year-old Jeremiah McDowell are charged with capital murder during kidnapping and capital murder during sodomy. TJ and Giovanni have also been charged with assault for pistol whipping Mahogany. They're all held over Birmingham City Jail without bond. Birmingham Police Chief Scott Freeman said that at least part of the rape of Mahogany was recorded on video. The video, he said, played a large role in the investigation and the charges the suspects face. He said the police are withholding details of the attack to shield the family. They said Mahogany was taken to several different locations during the hours she was held and before she was fatally shot. The heinous nature of the death was worse than most he had seen in years. It was absolutely disgusting, he said. Jefferson County District Attorney Danny Carr said, actions displayed by the defendants were barbaric and had no place in society. The senseless and inhumane treatment perpetuated on young Mahogany Jackson was very disturbing and violent. Mahogany is survived by her daughter. The investigation into the matter continues.
That's a lot of cereal. Prices going up everywhere. It's goodbye fish, hello cereal. This is just rabbit, and your family can still have chips with me. Sorry. At Grocery Outlet, we have an amazing selection of meat, like beef, pork, chicken, all within your family's budget. And today, hello steak, fried chicken, and pork chops. Grocery Outlet, body market. Sorry, got excited.
Homicide investigations underway following the discovery of a woman's body. At around 4 p.m. on Tuesday, the 20th of February, two teenage boys were enjoying a ride on their quad bikes along County Road 731, just off State Highway 334 in Forest City, Arkansas, and they stumbled across a grey plastic container on the side of the road. Inside, they found a naked woman's body and called 911. St. Francis County Sheriff Bobby May said the body was partially decomposed. We think the body had been out there maybe a couple of weeks. Detectives had no feeling at all whatsoever for what they had done, no conscience. Sheriff May said that after the teams posted about what they found on social media, a person contacted him, saying that the woman may be his mother who was last seen 4 weeks ago. Sheriff May said he never reported her missing. The body was sent to the state crime lab to determine who the woman is and how she died. On the 26th of February, the sheriff's office said the victim was positively identified as 42-year-old Troy Alexander of States of Forest City. The death was ruled a homicide, although authorities have not specified how she was killed. The Troy was frequently seen riding a bike throughout Forest City. Troy was a housewife and lifetime resident of Forest City, Arkansas, and was a member of Widener Baptist Church. She survived by her husband, 2 sons and 1 daughter. No suspect information has been released, and police are urging anyone with information in connection with Troy's death to come forward. The search is very active to find out who put the woman there. These are the kind of people we want to put behind bars for sure, he said. The motive in the killing is unclear as the investigation into the matter continues. A 23-year-old man is behind bars for fatally shooting a 19-year-old hotel clerk. At 9:22 p.m. on Friday, the 16th of February, authorities responded to Comfort Suites Hotel at 5730 North Haggerty Road in Canton, Michigan on reports of a shooting. When officers arrived, they found 19-year-old Veronica Crane behind the front desk with a gunshot wound to the head, and she was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators allege that the victim's ex-boyfriend, 23-year-old Joseph Michael Slocum Jr., entered the hotel and shot Veronica, and he fled the hotel on foot. At 9:43 p.m., police responded to southbound Interstate 275 and Ford Road for a reported car accident. When officers arrived, they found Joseph lying in the middle of the road after hitting by 2 cars and was hospitalised with multiple injuries. On Monday, the 26th of February, Joseph appeared in court and was arraigned on charges of first-degree murder and felony firearm. He remains held at the Wayne County Jail with bond denied. Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy said in a statement, "The most dangerous time for a domestic violence victim is when they're trying to leave the relationship. Horrifyingly, this case is a textbook example," she said. McDonald's customer became angry and assaulted an employee at the restaurant because he touched the lid of his drink. The incident occurred at around 7 p.m. on Saturday, the 24th of February, at the South Station Transit Depot in Boston, Massachusetts. The unnamed patron, identified only as a 34-year-old man, punched the fast food worker several times and used the cash register to assault him as well. The suspect was arrested and transported to MBTA Police Headquarters for booking. Authorities said the victim was treated at the scene for injuries. No further details of the incident were made available by police. McDonald's requires employees to wear gloves and wash their hands at least once every hour if they work in the food preparation area, although it's unclear if there are any rules about touching food service containers.
Tonight, the dramatic split screen. President Biden and former President Donald Trump making dueling visits to the border. Mr. Biden and Mr. Trump separated by only about 300 miles along the Texas border, clashing over immigration, an issue dominating the 2024 campaign. The president slamming Republicans for killing a bipartisan border bill. Mr. Trump blaming his crisis on the Biden administration. Our team on the border. Also this evening, Israeli troops accused of opening fire on a crowd waiting for aid in Gaza and killing more than 100. Israel disputing that, saying many were trampled while looting trucks. All of Gaza reaches a grim milestone, an estimated 30,000 dead. The wildfire raging in Texas, now the largest in state history. More than 1 million acres burned. We're in the fire zone. The life-threatening winter storm slamming the West Coast. Blizzard warnings in California for up to 10 feet of snow. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin on the hot seat. The heated moments as House Republicans drilled in on his secret hospitalization. The cheaper choice when it comes to popular weight loss drugs, but what are the health risks? And our exclusive, NFL star DeMar Hamlin, after surviving that heart scare on the field, we're there as he surprises a teen athlete who shares a special bond.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening and welcome. The race for president still officially in its primary season leapfrogs straight into the issue at the heart of the 2024 race. The two frontrunners traveling to the southern border, making dueling appearances on what could be a defining battleground in this campaign. President Biden and former President Trump each standing in the shadow of Mexico today, separated from each other by hundreds of miles, but exchanging salvos over an issue impacting more and more American cities on the border and beyond. The president calling out House Republicans for seeking a bipartisan border bill and extending an offer to Mr. Trump, saying we can do it together. The former president blaming Mr. Biden for border chaos, calling it a Joe Biden invasion. Our Dave Gutierrez has late details. Facing criticism over his handling of the immigration crisis, President Biden making his second trip to the southern border while in office. Real simple. It's time to act. Arriving in Jonesville, Texas, blasting House Republicans for tanking a bipartisan border security bill, urging former President Trump.
The toughest set of border security reforms we've ever seen in this country. It's time for the speakers and some of my Republican friends in Congress for blocking this bill to show a little spine.
The president with this message directly for Mr. Trump.
Join me, or I'll join you, in telling the Congress to pass this bipartisan border security bill. We can do it together.
Earlier, the Republican frontrunner landed about 300 miles away in Eagle Pass, Texas.
This is a Biden invasion over the past 3 years.
Arguing President Biden could end the crisis on his own, slamming what he calls Mr. Biden's lax border policies for causing it.
So we have remained in Mexico. Remember that? You can't come into our country, and we had no more catch and release. Our catch and release was we released them in Mexico.
Mr. Trump pointing to recent high-profile crimes allegedly committed by migrants, including the murder of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley.
Joe Biden will never say Laken Riley's name, but we will say it, and we will remember it. We're not going to forget it.
An NBC News review of available crime data shows crime has distanced cities that receive the most migrants. State President Biden gone to a different part of the world?
I believe so. I think it probably would have been best to go somewhere that's very busy, like Arizona or California. A record 8.6 million migrants have crossed into the U.S. since President Biden took office. Border Patrol union telling us Mr. Biden should not have reversed Trump border policies. They were very effective for us as Border Patrol agents in securing the border. An NBC News poll shows 57% of Americans say Mr. Trump can best secure the border, as 22% say Mr. Biden will. Beyond the political split, it's best that migrants in Mexico wait to cross. Julia Brownsville, Monica from El Salvador, waits for a bus with her 3-year-old son. She tells us the journey was hard and that she spent 4 months waiting in Mexico for an appointment from an initial asylum screening through an app on her phone. Now, she's off to meet the border battle in Washington, intensified.
Americans typically are struggling.
60% of workers say their income has not been enough to keep up with bills.
Anybody who's gone to the grocery store or filled up their gas tank in the last month knows that the bills are going up a little bit again. Gas is a little bit cheaper, but the ones they buy
And gave a win for the White House today as legal battle with Texas for voting for.
That's my lecture today. A federal judge temporarily blocked a controversial law in Texas that would have allowed local police to arrest migrants suspected of being in the state illegally. The governor says he would appeal, and the case could eventually make its way to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Thank you. A deadly incident today in northern Gaza during a food distribution effort. But how it happened is in dispute tonight. This says that the Gaza death toll from the war has over 30,000. Brett Sanchez has new details.
Tonight, bodies carried away on donkey carts after deadly encounter while Palestinians traveled to seek humanitarian aid. How it happens is in dispute. Our camera crew was there before 4 a.m. as hundreds of people came to the Gaza coast, waiting desperately for the delivery of food. Israel's military saying this drone footage was taken soon after, showing a crowd surging around aid trucks. A Palestinian eyewitness tells NBC News Israeli forces started firing at people gathering in front of the checkpoint before the trucks arrived, and kept shooting later as the crowd rushed towards the aid. The Hamas-run health ministry says more than 100 people were killed, hospitals flooded with gunshot victims. But Israel's military saying many died not from Israeli bullets, but in a stampede around the trucks, and that Israeli troops only opened fire later at a specific group threatening their position. Do you have any evidence to support your claim that this crowd posed a threat to Israeli troops?
If you approach armed soldiers in a war zone and there's a threat and they fire a warning question, yeah, that's true too. Turn around.
That's 1 in 4 Gazans are just a step away from famine. Musa is 6 months old, barely older than this war, but in his tiny body signs of a short life with little food. In a sense, he's lucky. Doctors say 8 other children died this week from malnutrition and dehydration, all at this one hospital. Not far away, Sami El-Masri trying to feed her kids by frying pancakes out of barley food meant for donkeys. Her children dodging bullets to find firewood. Lucky families without words can't describe the tragedy we're living in, she says. And President Biden now says he no longer thinks a ceasefire by Monday is likely. Lester?
All right, Brad, thank you. Here at home, that massive and deadly wildfire in Texas became the biggest fire in the state's history today, burning more than 1 million acres. Our Los Angeles is there.
Tonight, the Texas Panhandle engulfed in a deadly ring of fire as firefighters race to beat back the flames of what is now the largest wildfire in the Lone Star State's history. The Stonehouse Creek is the biggest of 4 active wildfires now ravaging the state. It's already burned through more than 1 million acres, leaving apocalyptic scenes like this in its wake. Entire neighborhoods reduced to rubble. For Paul Blankenship, home won't ever be the same. The flames took his mother, Joyce.
Thank God I'd already blocked the roads off, so I wasn't able to get in there to her.
The colossal blaze is just 3% contained. Today, a surreal scene in Fridge, Texas, Freezing temperatures led to a snow flurry coating the ashes. It's a help to firefighters still extinguishing hotspots, but the weather may not stay helpful for long.
It's basically a product of low relative humidity, dry field conditions, and really high winds.
This was my art studio.
It's already too late for Melanie McQuitty. Her home is gone. Now she's worried about the historic hotel she manages.
I looked at my house. I said goodbye and thank you. Because I knew that I was not going to return.
Until the flames subside, the hotel is putting up fire crews and evacuees. For now, the fire rages across these vast farmlands, scorching crops and forcing some farms to release their cattle to escape the blaze.
It's really going to hurt. And all the ranchers around it, it's going to be devastating for our community.
With more high winds forecast in the coming days, this battle is far from over.
Yeah, and Guam, do firefighters have enough help, or will they have to go outside to bring in more folks?
Well, Lester, federal firefighters are on the way, and President Biden says hurricanes is also coming to Texas to help fight this blaze. Now, there's been a break in the wind conditions, giving firefighters that edge, but forecasters say the heavy winds are expected to come back over the weekend. Lester?
All right, Guam, thank you. And in Northern California tonight, blizzard warnings are in effect for the Sierra Nevada mountains, with heavy snow already creating chaos on some roads. 5 to 10 feet of snow possible by Sunday, with wind gusts between 60 and 100 miles per hour. Travel will be extremely dangerous, if not impossible. In Alabama, state lawmakers passing new protections for IVF after that state Supreme Court decision that found frozen embryos of children sent shockwaves across the country. Senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett is here. Laura, this would only be a temporary fix, if you will.
Yes, Lester. Lawmakers today acknowledged these bills are not a long-term solution. Instead, they're meant to shield IVF patients and doctors from prosecution and civil suits during the course of fertility treatments where embryos could be damaged or destroyed. The goal, of course, to give clinics in the state enough comfort to resume IVF procedures that have been on hold for more than a week. But the bills do not clarify whether the frozen embryos should be considered children. The crux of the state Supreme Court's ruling, potentially leaving a legal gray area. Nevertheless, the governor is expected to sign the proposed legislation as soon as next week.
All right, Laura, thank you. Just in tonight, in a major turn of the case of the Air National Guardsman accused of leaking Pentagon secrets, Jack Teixeira is expected to change his plea to guilty, according to court papers. Teixeira, who was arrested last April, is accused of using his top secret clearance to access classified material and then posting it in a chat forum. A combative hearing today in Congress where Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was questioned about his recent hospitalization and failure to disclose it to the president and others for days. Courtney Cuby has more.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin in the hot seat today.
It was a failure of leadership.
House Republicans grilling Austin for not telling the White House he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, underwent surgery for it, and weeks later was hospitalized with serious complications.
I find it very concerning that the Secretary could be hospitalized for 3 days without anyone else in the administration even noticing.
Either the president is that aloof, or you are irrelevant. Which one is it, Mr. Secretary?
It's neither.
Democrats were more forgiving.
You want to know what accountability is? Accountability is having to come and sit in front of people and their outrage and their drama.
The secretary emphasizing that someone was always in control.
There was never a lapse in authorities or command and control.
But acknowledging a breakdown in the notification process.
We did not handle this right, and I did not handle it right.
Although Austin took responsibility, he also said he assumed his staff would manage it.
I never directed anyone to keep my hospitalization from the White House.
On Monday, the Pentagon releasing a summary of a classified review that blamed the lack of notification in part on a lack of written guidance, but also on staff not wanting to pry into Austin's health. The review recommending new procedures.
If any American worker did what you did,
They would be fired. And the question still remains. Why did it take the Pentagon 3 days to tell President Biden his defense secretary was in intensive care? Courtney Cuby, NBC News, the Pentagon.
With just 1 day to go, the House passed a stopgap funding bill today to avert a partial government shutdown. The bill keeps much of the government open through next Friday and the rest open until March 22nd. Republicans and Democrats are far apart on funding decisions for major departments like the Pentagon and Homeland Security. In 60 seconds, with the new class of weight loss drugs soaring in popularity, not everyone can get them. And now more people are turning to an alternate option. But is it safe? We'll look at that next. Oprah Winfrey announced she is stepping down from the board of Weight Watchers after going public about using weight loss drugs. These medications are wildly popular, though the cost has led many to seek out cheaper, compounded versions. But are they safe? CNBC's Melissa Lee reports.
Do you want to keep this in mind? For New Jersey hairstylist Kelly Fadigan, maintaining a healthy weight was never an issue until she had a child.
I had my son, and we all know after 30, things just kind of start to change.
Fadigan wanted to try Ozempic, the diabetes medication that is also shown to be effective and popular for weight loss.
But the reality was at $800 a month, it wasn't something that was sustainable for me.
When there's a nationwide shortage for a drug, like Ozempic's active ingredient, semaglutide, FDA rules allow for what's known as compounding, the art of mixing and custom-making medications.
I am on my way right now to get my first